The conservative boycott of Anheuser-Busch has been joined by an unlikely, not really ally, but an unlikely source. Gay bars in Chicago. Huh. So now wait. Some LGBTQ bars in Chicago have decided to drop Anheuser-Busch products, not because they put out some commemorative cans, celebrating transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney, but because Anheuser-Busch has since backed away and refuses to defend Dylan Mulvaney. So I actually love it. In fact, this is Mark Robertson of Two Bears Tavern Uptown, who, by the way, co-owns 4 LGBTQ plus bars in Chicago. He said, unlike what we'd expect from Anheuser-Busch, that had a history of supporting LGBTQ events and programming, sponsoring things like Pride in Chicago, they chose to side with hate. Well, I mean, I'm going to disagree a little bit with what he said, unlike what we would expect from Anheuser-Busch. Actually, this is exactly what I would expect from Anheuser-Busch. You see, this goes into rainbow capitalism, okay? Into the fact that these companies actually don't care about gay people at all, about trans people at all. They care about looking good so they can sell more products. But anyway, other than that, I love what he's saying. Because he's saying, look, you're not supporting trans people, then, well, we're not going to support you. But we'll get to that, okay? I'm getting ahead of myself. You all know, over the last couple of months, the right wing has been losing their minds over these custom cans. As a result, like, oh, Bud Light's going to make you trans or something. Just having the most unhinged meltdown of meltdowns over it's not even like, you couldn't even go out and get those cans yourself. It was just a special promotional can sent to Mulvaney. And that was it. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, wow. What a reason to melt down. But yet, again, you had conservatives going out and shooting cases of Bud Light with their guns, which is hilarious because you already bought the beer. You already gave them your money, and now you've spent money on that ammunition too, which can't be cheap, depending on the weapon that you use. It's so ridiculous. It's so absolutely ridiculous. I haven't watched a video where somebody unironically opened a Bud Light, started drinking it, and then it turned into a big black sex toy. Like, hey man, you posted that. I don't know. Something in me makes me think that that's exactly what they wanted to post. Can't help themselves.
Sexual anarchy.
Hey, you know what? Good for you.
Resurrection is about the people.
Good for you. Have fun. But no. They lost their mind. They claimed all sorts of ridiculous things. Like, for example, claiming without evidence that Mulvaney was some sort of pedophile. Come on. Really? Others said that they were boycotting Bud Light. But funny enough, they ended up switching to other allegedly LGBTQ plus friendly brands. But look, when we're talking about corporations, remember, Anheuser-Busch actually owns a lot of different brands. And a lot of these other, corporations, they still donated to anti-LGBTQ plus politicians, Republicans that are pushing some of the most heinous anti-trans bills all over the country. And why did they do it? Because money, of course. But nonetheless, this backlash scared the crap out of the suits. And by the end of April, Bud Light's parent company, Anheuser-Busch, put out a statement saying that it, quote, never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We're in the business of bringing people together over a beer. Yeah, okay, sure, but there's actually civil rights here. The civil rights of transgender people were being erased right now. Or at least there's a massive attempt to try to erase trans people. So, for that non-response...
Beta male.
Super weak. Oh, but it gets worse. Recently, Anheuser-Busch InBev CEO Michael Ducaris brought up the controversy in an investor call and said, quote, "We will continue to learn, meet the moment in time. I'll be stronger. And we work tirelessly to do what we do best, bring people together over a beer and creating the future of more cheers." Again, completely missing the point that this is a fight over people's human rights, civil rights, to be respected as they are, as human beings. So, way to not stand up for Mulvaney, which is, by the way, this is even more compounded because it was Bud Light that sent the cans to Mulvaney in the first place, putting her in the crosshairs, metaphorically. So, well done. Well done on that. Great job, Anheuser-Busch. Way to drop the ball.
You idiot.
But look, understand that this is the expected outcome. We knew this was going to happen. They were never going to stand up for Mulvaney if there was a large backlash, which there was, because they bowed to the sales pressure, to the money. That's what they always do. Robertson continued by saying, "We would not let a customer stand here and say anti-trans things. We are certainly not going to let a beer go across our bar that is letting people say anti-trans things." They have continued to redouble their negative response and keep saying, "Oops, we made a mistake, which is essentially saying supporting the LGBTQ community, specifically the T in this case, was a mistake, and that's disgusting. 100%. Robertson not only dumped out all the Anheuser-Busch beer at the bar, he also removed all traces of their products. Actually doing it right this time, doing research and saying, oh, all these other beverages are also owned by Anheuser-Busch, so we're just going to get rid of them as well. Not like idiot conservatives that were just like, oh, get rid of the Bud Light. And then what? Then keep all the other brands? Yeah, genius. Very, very stable genius.
I'm cognitively there.
Yeah, okay.
Person.
Well, a smart person.
And then they say, "There's Donald Trump, an intellectual. Trust me, I'm like a smart person."
That's all of them, right? Oh, I'm such a smart person. No, you're not. Idiots. Idiots. But, okay, anyway. Now, what he says next is incredibly important, though. After, I just also want to note that they also got rid of the taps and covered the Bush name with electrical tape. So they're just getting rid of everything. All right, hey, if you're going to boycott, that's the way to do it, right? But what he says next is super important. Quote, "We are looking for real, honest support. Not a rainbow flag on a t-shirt. Not a rainbow cup. Not a rainbow cake. I'm looking for you to stand up and say, we support you. We believe in your rights. And that, 100%, is how you have to do it." See, what Anheuser-Busch was doing was not being an ally. They were not a real ally. They were engaging in rainbow capitalism. And that's it. They thought they could make themselves look better by making some custom cans. And that they would end up making some money off of it. Instead, what they did is, when the right wing got pissed off, because they're pissed off about everything, they're always mad, always raging about something, always looking for something to get outraged about, and who scream about it at all times. Well, these companies said, oh, we're scared now. They backed down after they lost a little bit of stock value. Now, I don't really care about their stock value, honestly. I don't care about Anheuser-Busch. I don't care about the stock value. I don't care about any of these, these corporations that engage in rainbow capitalism. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, hey, you know what? If Anheuser-Busch, their stock completely cratered and went out of business, I wouldn't give one damn about it at all. I don't care. Let them crash. Split them up. Have at it. I don't care about their stock portfolios or anybody's stock portfolio. And it's because they engage in this. So we see through this. And the left saw through this. Look, these companies, they're just, again, another faceless corporation. Corporations have no values. The only thing they care about is fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders. That's because they're not human beings. Now, this fight, the fight for trans rights, is about human beings. It is about human rights. That's why we care about this. But they don't. Because again, they're a faceless corporation with a fiduciary responsibility to their shareholders, and they're going to do ultimately what makes them the most money. Now, if a company actually decides to go all in supporting trans people, good. I'm in favor of that. Fine, great. But in order to do that, in order to show that, you have to actually show that you're an ally, a real ally. And that would involve not giving money to anti-LGBTQ politicians in this case, right? So no more money to Republicans. Unless they're, again, pro-LGBTQ. That's really simple. Oh, but then you lose your tax cuts, you see. Or you might lose your tax cuts. Or you might not be able to, buy these politicians off that will give you special, deregulation or things like that. Can't do that. But if you wanted to, I mean, you could stop giving money to these terrible people. You could also, stop giving to terrible political groups. You could donate to charities like the Trevor Project that help transgender people, specifically transgender youth. If you want to be an ally, put your money where your mouth is. And if not, well, just got one thing to say.
Get the out of my house! That's it. See you later.